I made an S. This is probably by far one of the hardest letters to make. I figured that out. I thought I figured it out with the big one that we did a long time ago, but it's I used the smallest shoe I possibly had and still didn't get it small enough. Let's see if I can squish it just a little bit more, actually. Just a little pudgy S. Doesn't look completely great, but it's an S. I have a problem with the E too. The E is very long in the things, but we're going to leave it. I don't feel like cutting an E because I think it will look silly. Anyway, so if you haven't gathered, I'm making letters for another horse nameplate. This horse's name is Quest, so it's being a little bit more difficult than I thought, just because, you know, in order to do a Q, I have to like completely close the shoe, which takes the size of the shoe and shrinks it dramatically. And so I used the biggest shoe I had, a size 4 shoe, and this is a size 4 shoe. It's the biggest shoe other than draft shoes that you get, right? And then in comparison, this is a size 0 shoe, so one of the smallest shoes. Obviously, we could still go pretty small, double zeros or triple zeros. There's aughts is what Courtney calls them. But anyway, so this is a size 4 shoe, and this is a size 0 shoe now. So it kind of took it all and took all of the bigness of this shoe away. And so I was trying to figure out a way, because I don't want like a small Q and then big letters or all, yeah. My best, I always try to get the letters the same size. Except for the first letter, I try to make it a little bit bigger. So all of the shoes that I'm using to make the name are size 0 or smaller. The E is made out of double zeros, and it's still big. So I don't know the best way to do that other than cutting and welding. But I was going to try to do as little of that for this name as possible. The T, I have this little long piece here, and then the two ends of the one shoe over there are going to get cut, and that will get welded together, and then we'll put the pieces of the Q, weld them on, and the E will weld that on. So we'll let all that cool down and keep going from there. This week, thanks for joining me. Thanks for hanging out. This week is just going to be a couple of small little things that aren't going to take very long. It's Christmas week, so a lot of things to do. Courtney and her family and all that kind of stuff. So I'm not going to get a lot done this week, but there are 3 projects that I need to finish this weekend. So without further ado, let's figure that out. One of them is a ribbon holder that's just extra long. So I got this piece of board here that I sanded and stained, and we're gonna put these shoes on. I have these 2 shoes at the ends. These came off of a horse called Zen. It's one of Courtney's clients. She's a really nice lady, and I thought it would be nice to make her a quick little ribbon holder. We were at her barn doing her horses a couple weeks ago, and I noticed she's just got like a string with all of her ribbons on it, and so I figured, hey, I stole the shoes from Courtney, and I said, hey, I'll just take those shoes and I'll make her a ribbon holder so she doesn't have to use that string anymore. Yeah, so anyway, we'll grab some nails. We need the drill bit. Wherever that might be, there it is. All right. Sorry about the sniffles. It's really warm in here, but really cold outside, so I've been been sniffling it a lot, especially over the forge and stuff. So if I'm sniffling, I'm sorry. So we're going to do the same thing we've done with every other ribbon holder and frame. We're just going to line the shoes up. We're going to put the holes in, and then we're going to attach the shoes. Now here's the kicker, is I think instead of putting all of the little picture hangers on there, I'm going to put one string of chain across the whole thing, just this black chain. I have like a brass one, but I think the black one is a little bit sharper. So let's see here. Yeah, so we're going to measure that out, and then we're going to probably attach it just under the shoes on either side, so it's got a nice little tautness to it, and we'll get that done. So I also need to make backers, and this guy's too small, and I don't know if I have enough of this material anymore. Oh, I do. Okay. So this is all I have left of that one piece of material I have that I make backers out of. So we'll be able to cut a couple pieces out of there. See, that's too small. We might be able to just get two bigger ones out of here. Maybe only one. We'll see. But we'll if we can't make it out of this, we'll find something else to make it out of. Yeah, so just going to get these drilled up and set in place. And then when we come back, we'll figure out how to get the chain on there, and then that's first project just done. The biggest part of it was sanding and staining it. So I just did that this morning a little bit. So yeah. All right. A little dab of glue here just to keep everything in place. So let that sit for a couple of seconds. I got the, apparently I didn't. Why are you not dry yet? Hopefully my glue is fine to be holding. Anyway, we'll let that dry. And then, yeah, we'll flip this guy over. Gonna have to give it a nice brush down before we put the top coat on. We are gonna put a top coat on this just to give it a nice little protection. It is gonna sit in a barn. It shouldn't get wet or anything like that, but just to give everything a full feel. But I think attaching this thing, I thought about attaching it to the nail that's closest to the edge of the shoe. So then it kind of just hides behind the shoe, the connection, because it's just holding ribbons. And then hopefully I can get in there and pinch it. I think that would be pretty awesome if I could do that. So I think I'll probably end up finishing this, putting this guy on after the top coat because the chain doesn't need it. But let's get it on here. It's a little, oh, that's a little, nope, that's not going to work. Why did that not, I swear I measured. I want it to be kind of tight. Oh, I don't know if that's going to be possible. I'll take one more link off and see if that works. That's better. I can tighten it up when I pinch them closed. But alas, that's the ribbon holder. Not too shabby. Not too shabby at all. So then you just kind of just slide the ribbons on that. It's pretty cool. I like it. So next thing is another picture frame. We're just going to put this stuff to the side because I'm going to have to top coat everything we make today. So I'll just do that all at once. Put this off to the side here. And we'll just move this whole desk out of the way. Because we're going to do a little bit of welding. So, the trainer I take my lessons with, my horse riding lessons with, saw one of the picture frames we made, I think last week, for Courtney's friend for her birthday. And she's like, I want that thing too. And she's like, it's for one of her clients that she teaches. She wants a very similar. She gave me the shoes. So again, I couldn't alter these shoes. So we got a little bit of a wobble here and there. These ones have toe clips on them, which is interesting. I like. And in order to get the heel straight up and down, we're going to need the toe clip's going to be off center a bit, which is unfortunate, but it's what she wants. So this one's just going to take just no time. So we're going to knock it out right now. I think that looks pretty good. All right. Yes. Yes, I say, indeed. Voila. Another picture frame. These things are like, people really like these things, and they're very easy. So I think that's probably the 7th one, I think, that we've taken care of, that we've done. So I have these long magnets I showed before in the past, and I've just been breaking them in half and throwing some paint on them, just so, because they're too long for there. So I'm just gonna quickly grab my paint and get this set for these two broken halves. The only problem is when you break it, all the little shards are on it everywhere. And I don't like touching stuff without my gloves, but my gloves don't conceal it enough, or don't pull off the stuff as well as just my fingers. Okay. One of these is a little longer than the other, so I don't know if I should try. Well, that broke very easily. There we go. All right. Just a little black paint to cover these things these batteries have a coating on them, and the coating prevents them from damaging, or it's not rust, but you know what I mean? Oxidizing, I think. I don't know. They do something. It does something, and so I looked it up, and it's not the same as spray paint, but spray paint can give it fairly similar. As long as they're not putting the stuff outside and stuff, it should be good. Quick and easy like that. All right. Next is figuring out the quest sign, and from there, we'll take a break and have dinner and then put it together after. So, we'll just walk through it really quick. So we got the O, which will turn into the Q. Now I have these two little pieces here. I don't know if I'm going to use them. They were just as an example that I can kind of put. Actually, I might use them. If I can shape them up nice, I could probably use them. But they're just little offcuts, little angled offcuts for when we're doing other letters. But we got the then we got the U, which is just a horseshoe. I just evened out either side. I didn't shape it any differently. So it's got a little weird shape to it, but It's pretty good. And then we got the E, which we still have to find the piece for. The S. We can do that. And then the T still has to be cut up. So what we're going to do is, so the top of the Q had ice pin holes in it, so I found a shoe. This is size 1 though, so it's a little bit bigger. We're going to use the two ends of this to make the top of the T. So then the top of the Q and the top of the T both have ice pin holes, so if they want to screw it into something, they can. Yeah. Looks about right. I just need to find a middle to the E. I don't think I have a piece ready. I'm going to have to probably cut up another shoe. I have some pieces, but like they're really big. They're from way bigger shoes. I'd have to heat this up and straighten it, but that one might actually work. It's a little bit thicker than the other parts of the shoe, though. I still have to brush the shoes, get all the oxidization off. But pretty much it's just cut the T, get the piece for the E, and then weld it all together. So with that being said, I'm going to go and have a bite to eat. And then I'm going to get the top coat on those things done first. And then, yeah, we'll come back, we'll get this done. And then that'll be it for this week, I think, unless something pops up. And I don't think that there's any other projects ready to go just yet. So, yeah, we'll be right back. The letters are put together. We got a Q. We got a U. We got an E with the long ass ends. I don't know. We got the S, short and stubby. And we got the T. The T worked out really well, actually. I'm really happy with it. So now is the time to put it all together. So I think what I want to do is I'm just going to try to get them as upright as possible, upside, like backwards and upside down. See if it looks good backwards. So the Q is not going to sit right on the thing because of the little piece sticking out, I think is going to be the bottom part. This tea is like falling through the little crack there. So I think I'm just gonna put a weight on it. Try to hold it in place. That'll work. Just because it's definitely going to go on a horse stall in a barn. And if it falls, I don't want it to just start smashing apart. Same thing always happens when I weld letters together. And I'm sure it would happen with other things, but I only do letters in this fashion, so that's what I have to go on. But it gets bowed. So like I had it laying flat, but now there's a slight bow behind it, like to the back. So it's like slightly going this way, which is not a big deal. The Allen sign that we just did it. The Gunner sign, the Willow Grove sign, all of them have done it. And so one of these days I'll figure out a technique to try to keep them from bowing in on themselves. But yeah. Seems about good. Use the big brush to get in here. It's got the long bristles. It seems about it. So that's the last project I was gonna do this week. But I just got commissioned to do 2 more picture frames. We have a problem with one of them that I have to wait for the customer to rectify. I'll show you in a second. But the other 2 items that we made this week, so the thumbnail is not going to have all of the items in it because they've already been given and taken care of and picked up. So I can't bring them back down here for the picture, but yeah. So she gave me 2 shoes, or 4 shoes, because she wants for her daughters to have picture frames out of their horses' shoes. And so I got these 2 shoes, they're perfectly fine. I'll be just fine doing this one, so we're going to do this one right away. Forgot which orientation I had them in. And then she gave us these 2 shoes that looked similar when she got them to me because they were sitting like this when she gave them to me. I've cleaned them up, but they're 2 different shoes. So they didn't come off the same horse unless the farrier decided to use a different shoe, but that's not the case. So what had happened was that she had 3 shoes in the one locker for the one horse in there because horses lose shoes every once in a while, so you end up with singles every once in a while because if they lose them out in the pasture, good luck finding it. Potter lost one that way. There's still one out in his original pasture that I never found. It's his first pair of shoes, too. We only have one of them. But he lost it in the mud, so I don't think I'm ever going to find that guy. But yeah, so Courtney messaged her, and she says she has the matching other shoe of whichever one it is. And so now I have to wait for her to get me that. She's coming tomorrow. So I'll do that tomorrow. But I can make this. She wants them painted black with the brass, the nails like the one we did a couple weeks ago. They really liked that one when we had it down in the barn, and then it sold. So I think they were kind of bummed out when that happened. Yeah. But anyway, that's going to be it for this week. I'm going to knock those out later. They got to be painted and all that kind of stuff. I got to put the top coat on this guy, but that's it for this guy. So I'm going to put the top coat on him. I'm going to put lights on the deer. So I brought the deer back down. It was up in the house for a little while. Courtney seemed to like it, but she agrees with the head being too small and stuff. But I'm gonna just take one of the sets of lights and I'm just gonna put it in the antlers, and then I'm gonna go put it down in the barn because I thought that'd be fun. So that's why that guy's back in here. But yeah, thanks for hanging out this week. Short video, I hope. I'm bad at editing, so maybe it's still an hour long. Who knows? But it should be shorter. And yeah, we got 3 projects done, and yeah, I don't know if we're gonna put a video out next week. I know I'll have time on the Saturday to be in the shop, but it is Christmas week, and so if I don't make a video, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, whatever it is that you like to say, and yeah, just enjoy your time, and we'll see you again in a week or two. Hopefully I can come back and do something in the shop next week, but it's great. Awesome. Thanks again. See you later.